Okay.
Yeah. So over to Shakur. Shakur, it's over to you. You can start.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good morning, everyone. A very good morning from the Department of Pharmaceutical Technology, JIS University. We are very much pleasure to have our eminent speaker today, Dr. Debasish Bagchi. So before Dr. Bagchi starts his presentation of today, I would like to give a brief introduction about him. So Dr. Debasish Bagchi is the Director of Scientific Affairs, VNI, I'm sorry, Incorporated, Bonita Springs, Florida, and an adjunct professor in the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, Texas Southern University, Houston, Texas. And he is also an ex-professor in the Department of Pharmacological and Pharmaceutical Sciences at the University of Houston College of Pharmacy, Houston, Texas. He received his PhD degree in medicinal chemistry in 1982, and he has served as Chief Scientific Officer at Cepham Incorporated, Belmont, and also as the Senior Vice President of Research and Development in InterHealth Nutraceutical in Garcinia, California. He received the Master of American College of Nutrition Award in October 2010. Dr. Bagchi has 391 papers in peer-reviewed journals, renowned journals, 44 books, and 20 patents. Dr. Bagchi is also the member of some societies and academics, including the Society of Toxicology, New York Academy of Sciences, Fellow of Nutrition Research Academy, CCE Stakeholder Committee of the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Study Section and Peer Review Committee of the National Institute of Health. There are so many things to say about Dr. Bagchi, but I would like to keep it short for today. And I would like to welcome him in our department for this webinar. We have been waiting for sir, and it's our pleasure for our department to have you amongst us. Now I would like to request Dr. Bagchi, sir, the place is yours. If you can start your presentation for us.
Thank you, Dr. Shaha. Thank you, Dr. Mazi, for inviting me. Today, we will discuss the impact of structurally diverse environmental stressors, and especially coronavirus, on human health, and how nutraceutical and functional foods can help in protecting against these stress and stressors as well as coronavirus. Also, remember, physical stress is very damaging. Now, diverse environmental stressors. The first one is gasoline exhaust that we encounter on a daily basis. Environmental pollutants, you name it, the pesticides, fungicides, the waste. So it is a major problem posing on our health. Then we talked about the pesticides, fungicides, insecticides, then polychlorinated biphenyl, and diverse heavy metals. Those are arsenic, lead. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, but your presentation actually is not visible. Sorry for the interrupting.
Oh, you are not, it is not visible? Sorry,
not
sorry.
Yet, sir.
Okay, let me stop it. Sorry.
No, sir, that's fine.
Okay, let us see.
Dr. Bagchi, I request you to share it again. Stop sharing and share it again.
Oh, sure. Sure, no problem. Thank you for telling me that.
My pleasure, sir.
Okay.
Now make it full screen.
Yeah, can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, okay. So let us start from the second slide. So we have diverse environmental stressors. And what are those? Gasoline exhaust, what we encounter on a daily basis. The environmental pollutants, the pesticides, fungicides, insecticides, and polychlorinated biphenyls. Then heavy metals, arsenic, lead, mercury, antimony, you name it, titanium, they are posing massive damage on the human tissue. And industrial chemical waste and endotoxin and diverse biological factors that also play a major role as stressors. Sedentary lifestyle, alcohol, caffeine, and tobacco smoke. But always remember, alcohol in a small quantity, it is good for human health. Now, what are the other intricate factors? Advancing age. We are not getting young, we are getting old. And physical and emotional stress that cause major toll on our health. And what are the consequences? As the pharmacist, we know that it causes the lipid damage, lipid peroxidation, protein damage, then the DNA damage as you determine using the DNA single strand break or DNA fragmentation. Then the biological macromolecules, it causing damage mainly because of oxidative stress. But remember, oxidative stress is bad, but a little oxidative stress is always good for our health because it kills the germs. So a small amount, right dose, it acts as a savior, but maximum or major emphasis on oxidative stress, it can toll on human health. And the other problem we encounter is membrane microviscosity. They are the consequences. So we have to be very careful. Now, we are talking about the infection. What is happening? Now, host defense infection, and it is causing major problem. How it is started? Initiated by the antigen presenting cells, which eliminate the invading pathogens. How? By phagocytosis and establish localized inflammation by secreting cytokines and chemokines. Next is how it is happening. Globalization of food supply chain. We are getting exposure to the foodborne pathogens and its outbreaks. Antibiotic therapy. Antibiotic therapy is good, but right amount and for a small span of time, because it kills the enteric pathogens as well as the good bacteria. Those are probiotics or prebiotics. Now, rapid onset of host systemic inflammatory responses cause acquisition of antimicrobial resistance. And that's why you see all the diseases, they are coming back over and over again. So what is the mantra? You have to boost your immune system. Now, chronic inflammatory disorders are mediated by the enteric pathogens. In contrast to our evolutionary conserved pattern recognition receptors, the diverse virulence profiles of enteric pathogens threaten to overcome the host defense mechanism. Develop strategies to protect the host against multiple types of pathogens by boosting your immunity, your antioxidant profile. And that's what is very important today. When we talk about the different type of organism, bacteria, the prokaryotic organism, they carry their genetic information in the double-stranded circular molecule of DNA. You can see here, And here you can see the cell wall, the cell membrane, and how these bacteria, they are causing the damage on our tissues. Now, a small subset of bacteria cause infection and disease. Not all bacteria are bad. There are some bacteria, they are beneficial. Most of the bacteria, they do not cause any damage, but some, they cause massive damage, infection, and disease. Now, many of the normal flora are generally inconspicuous, but become aggressive following dysbiosis of the gut flora. They are known as opportunistic pathogens. Now, bacterial resistance to antimicrobials or antibiotics is a major concern to the scientists. Now, resistance genes are mostly acquired through mobile gene cassettes or integrons. They are carried in the plasmids. Eventually, they acquire multi-drug resistance and become converted to superbugs. And the superbugs, they are creating all the problems. Now, organisms must survive in the environment and reach a susceptible host. Who are the susceptible hosts? Those who have the compromised immune system. If your immune health is bad, then you will get into the problem. Advancing age is another problem, and many bacteria survive in the water, soil, food, and the living vectors. And how the transmission occurs through contact, airborne, droplet, living vectors, and vehicles. Now, preventive measures have a dramatic impact on reducing morbidity and mortality. Now, those measures include water treatment, immunization, personal hygiene measures, and safer sex practices. Now, enough organisms must survive in the environment and reach a susceptible host. But remember, if our immune system is strong, then you will be able to stop the problem. You will be able to protect yourself with your boosted immunity. Now, bacteria, they are, as you know, are either gram-positive or gram-negative based on the peptidoglycan content in their cell wall. It is very important, and you have read it in your classroom. Now, we talk about the modes of transmission by contact. Next, airborne. And you can see tuberculosis, Q fever. Even now, sir, the coronavirus is also causing becoming the next generation coronavirus. They are also becoming airborne. Then the droplets. And I put the examples here that you can look at it later on. Then the vectors. And you know the Lyme disease, the fly, the lice, and the fleas. They are the vectors mediated process. And vehicular, the Campylobacter, Helicobacter. They are causing the modes of transmission and infection. Now, here you see viral replication. And what happened? When you have the viral replication, you get the massive cytokine production, and it causes multi-organ injury. And this causes problem in the GI tract, as well as in the lung, as well as in the heart. Now, virus supply through saliva ingestion and viral penetration is important. And what it does, remember, gastrointestinal tract is the most important thing. We have gastrointestinal tract, and gastrointestinal tract has more receptor, more neuroreceptor in our GI tract than in our brain. So, and GI tract, if you can keep it healthy, and if you can boost your immunity by taking good foods and healthy foods, then you will be able to protect it, and you can maintain your microbial flora. And what it will cause, that it will increase your permeability to the tissue. Here, we talk about the microRNA. What are the microRNAs? The small non-coding RNA molecules. They play vital roles in the host cells. And what it does, it modulates the immune system and the inflammatory response during infection. Now, microRNAs influence the outcome of bacterial infection by regulating canonical autophagy and genophagy responses in the host cells. Now, host and pathogen, their interaction in diverse bacterial infections are very important, and you need to conceptualize it. What are the classical examples? Are the mycobacteria, Listeria, Helicobacter pylori, that evade the host protective immune responses using microRNA-dependent mechanisms to suppress autophagy. And the crosstalk between the microRNAs and the autophagy pathways that starting this interaction may be targeted in search of novel therapeutics against the bacterial infections. On the right, you can see, I gave some specific examples on the right. You can look at it afterwards. Now, when we talk about the small, less than 10 kDa soluble host defense bioactive small proteins that play a vital role in the mammalian innate immunity. Innate immunity and adaptive immunity. You need to understand the concept very clearly. Now, prevent infection by inhibiting pathogen growth on skin and mucosal surfaces and subsequent dissemination to normally sterile sites. Now, the AMPs are the most ancient form of defense system that you have inside yourself. Now, basically, the body's first line of defense for pathogen inactivation. That's why you see why so many people, they are still going all right, they are not getting any infection. Antimicrobial peptides, AMPs, and it's found in a variety of species, including bacteria, insects, and as well as in ourselves, human. Now, host organisms developed arsenals of AMPs that protect against a huge variety of invading gram-negative and gram-positive bacterial pathogens. And AMPs act by permeabilization of the bacterial cell membrane, as we have seen the cell membrane picture in the previous slide. Now, activity and selectivity are governed by physicochemical parameters of the peptide chains and properties of the membrane system itself. Now, we talk about the antimicrobial peptides. They exhibit activities comparable to conventional antibiotics, and the physical nature of the mode of action implies a faster killing process. And mode of action differs from conventional antibiotics and provides enormous advantage that may be exploited in cocktail therapies. Advantages of AMPs include wound healing and the ability to bind to the lipopolysaccharide, thereby preventing endotoxemia. Possible inactivation by selected blood proteins at a time of increased bacterial resistance. AMPs remain the most intriguing and promising candidates for novel antibiotics. And I know some of you will be synthesizing and developing some novel antibiotics in very near future. Now, we talk about the SARS-CoV-2. Now, SARS-CoV-2, we are getting into our body either by inhalation, by transfer of the virus-carrying fluids via hand to eye, hand to mouth, or hand to nose. This is the different way we are getting affected. What it does, binds to the goblet cell and ciliated epithelial cell, nasal cavity, or the mucosal membrane. And it undergoes interaction between the viral spike protein and the ACE2 receptor. Subsequently, it starts replicating. Now, ACE2, as we know, it is a proteolytic enzyme. What it does, cleaves a single amino acid from angiotensin 2 to generate vasodilators. This ACE2 is implicated mainly in lowering blood pressure. Now, from the RT-PCR data for the viral RNA is useful to predict the viral load and subsequent infectivity and their consequences. Now, disruption of angiotensin 2 receptor type 1, it has been shown to induce anemia. The initial condition of COVID-19 infection is generally asymptotic for the first 1 to 2 days. And in stage 2, upper airway and the conducting airway response, it is causing the progression of COVID-19. The gas exchange unit of the lung, it gains access to the blood, and virus replication in the cell occurs, including in the different tissues, blood, and it is very specific. Not all people gets affected in the same way, but one thing is common: it dismantles hemoglobin, altering blood's oxygen carrying ability. This disruption is another manner of COVID-19 infection which induces anaerobic or hypoxic pathology. So you are not getting the requisite amount of oxygen that you need. And we have shown that a little amount of oxygen or aerobic homeostasis can keep you healthy, and you can keep yourself out of diseases. Now, virus migrates down the respiratory tract to the airways, triggering the more robust innate immune response. Now, it is important to note viral infected epithelial cell propagate damage to the epithelium and exacerbating anaerobic hypoxic condition, initiating the formation of thrombi and coagulopathies, which are the biomarkers of pathogenesis. So here in the stage 3, hypoxia, ground glass infiltrates, and progression of 20% patients progress to stage 3. So 80%, they can cure themselves, as you have seen in many of the cases in the last 1 year. And the 20% patients, they progress to stage 3 and develop pulmonary infiltrates and severe disease fatality. And this fatality rate is approximately 2%, but varies with advancing age and existing comorbidities. Now, virus reaches the lung, infects and propagates like a self-replicating pulmonary toxin. COVID-19, it causes the alveolar damage that you have already seen, that it causes the lung injury with fibrin-rich hyaline membranes and a few multinucleated giant cells. Now, epithelial damage and aberrant wound healing lead to severe scarring, fibrosis, and acute respiratory distress syndrome. Recovery will require a vigorous, innate, and acquired immune response and epithelial regeneration. But that is quite difficult unless you have strong immune competence. Now, that's why we are saying boost your immune competence. How you can do that? Zinc, probiotics, vitamin D, vitamin C, selected phytopharmaceutical to restore aerobic metabolic events in promoting a robust immune competence. Now, here you can see the SARS-CoV-2, the viral load, the pre-symptomatic phase, the first one, then the viral genome, it goes through the mild, moderate illness, then severe illness, then critical illness. But critical illness, it goes to the lesser amount of people. So that we need to remember. And we can protect that if we are careful and we protect ourselves using mask, and if we can do gargle over and over again with saline water and take your antioxidants, that will help you. Now, SARS-CoV-2, underlying condition, older population, and you have seen they have high temperature during this infection. IL-6 and AS2 has gone up. Now, CVD and high blood pressure patients, they get dyspnea and their C-reactive protein has gone up. And obesity, like me, fat man. So here you can see increase in QSOFA, the quick sequential organ failure assessment, degree of sepsis outcome. And what are the biomarkers? Ferritin. Those who are diabetic, they have the problem. And you can see with the lactate dehydrogenase increase, the cellular injury. Then cardio-obstructive pulmonary disease, they have the neutrophilia or lymphopenia. And malignancy, and the biomarkers are D-dimer and the deep vein thrombosis. Now, Olstein, you can see these were the symptoms. Fever, loss of smell and taste, and persistent cough. While the new strain, you can see lot of symptoms. Sore throat, conjunctivitis, aches and pains, diarrhea. And now they are saying in the third wave, there will be really no symptoms. So it will be very difficult to identify. So I will request you to be very careful. We published a paper in 2020 in June or July, in Journal of Neuroscience Journal. I will send a copy to Dr. Maji in case you guys are interested. Now, what are the treatment modalities? Prevent the virus from binding to the receptors and inhibit viral replication. Now look at the virus. You have a E protein, S protein, and M protein. And there is a very nice paper. I will draw your attention, coronavirus biology and replication. And you can see Phil's paper, which came out in 2020 October. it is very good. I will send a copy of this paper to Dr. Maji also. And here you can see how viral particle it moves and how they moves into the body and how they interacts with different cellular components. Now, we edited a book on antioxidant and functional foods for neurodegenerative disorder, uses in prevention and therapy. Because now you can see a lot of people get affected and they are getting brain injury or they are having the forgetfulness. And in case you can maintain your aerobic cellular respiration or the homeostatic regulation of adaptation, rehydration, refueling, repair, and protection from these structurally diverse infection and cellular injury, that will be able to maintain the best possible nutritional status on metabolically balanced state to achieve, boost your immune competence and host defense. Now, healthy aerobic cellular metabolism will effectively improve morphological, hematological, rheological properties of the blood, as well as your oxygen level, and ultimately boost your immune competence and overall health. Most importantly, this pathophysiology also improve your brain health. Now, another problem came, mucormycosis, black fungus, and COVID-19 triggers mucormycosis by modulating cell-mediated immunity, as per example, chemotaxis, phagocytosis, increased cytokine secretion in patients with uncontrolled diabetes, especially those who have glycosylated hemoglobin more than 8. So HbA1c is one of the best marker. You have to be very careful. Those who have HbA1c more, they have to be extra careful. Or immunocompromised subjects, those who take immunosuppressant. Now, diabetes, those who are using corticosteroids, their risk of obesity is pretty high. Iron overload in COVID-19 patients, that is also another dangerous problem. Then organ transplant patients, like those who have gone for lung transplantation or liver transplantation, their immune system is weak. Now, immune boosting nutraceutical can modulate those metabolic abnormalities. Selected nutraceuticals protect against inflammation and viral entry. Now, I will give a disclaimer that nutraceutical and functional foods are not approved by US Food and Drug Administration. So we are going to discuss on some products which are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. And these supplements provide nutritional-based benefits that promote structural and functional competence of the cell, tissue, organs, or systems of the body. So first I will talk about the vitamin D. Do we expose ourselves to sunlight? No, we do not. We just enjoy our days in air-conditioned room or in our room because we cannot stand that high temperature outside. So vitamin D deficiency, it causes inflammatory response, immune dysfunction, predisposing severe infections, vulnerability to infection with enveloped viruses, including retrovirus, herpes virus, hepatitis, dengue, and COVID-19. Now, global data correlates that severe vitamin D deficiency with COVID-19 associated coagulopathy, reduced platelet count, and prolonged prothrombin time and disrupted immune response and increase in mortality. This has been demonstrated by an Italian physician who first showed that in the after the death, he took the after postmortem, he took the tissues and showed the vitamin D deficient subjects are more prone to COVID-19. It is already published. Here we are showing a map where you can see how vitamin D3, or it has several role in reducing the cytokine storm. It boosts up the antimicrobial peptide. It reduces pro-inflammatory Th1 cytokines, IL-2, TNF-alpha, and interferon gamma, and increases the anti-inflammatory cytokines by the macrophages. So here you can see this ultimately causes a reduction in oxidative stress and boosts the glutathione level. And it reduces the expression of renin gene by increasing the expression of ACE2. So you can see its immunomodulatory effect as antioxidant, antimicrobial, and anti-inflammatory. So we recommend that take vitamin D3, and we published another paper. This is one paper we published with Manipal School of Pharmacy with Dr. Miraj and his group. So we published it, and I will be happy to give you a copy. And second thing, and we also published another paper on vitamin D3 with Georgetown University Medical Center and Texas Southern University Collaborative Research. Now we talk about probiotics and psychobiotics in the treatment of COVID-19. Remember, probiotics is a bacteria, but they call it friendly bacteria. And you need prebiotics. Why you need prebiotics? Prebiotics do the basic work so that when you have probiotics, then probiotics can function. How it causes its protection? It prevents dysbiosis. What it dysbiosis? Altered gut microflora, predisposes abnormal inflammatory states, and increased susceptibility to diseases. Now, probiotics help to maintain symbiosis in the gastrointestinal tract and boost immune competence, while the symbiotic state helps to control the severity of disease, that is the gut-lung and gut-brain axis. And you can see here, we put here symbiosis, the green section, and dysbiosis, how it is working on different tissues and how probiotics can help in reducing the state of dysbiosis. We published this paper in Archives of Medical Research in 2021. It just came out. I will be happy to share the paper with you. Now, this is how we see probiotics and its effect. And we call it psychobiotics. So here you can see the brain, and you can see the effect of stress. When you are getting stress at your workplace, then it can cause your damage on the increase in inflammatory response, as well as your immune system may get compromised. So you do your work, do not get stressed. Boost your immunity. We publish this probiotics in the prevention and treatment of COVID-19 in Archives of Medical Research. Now, we showed there a flowchart, how probiotics, they are causing anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and antimicrobial efficacy by increased absorption of vitamin D. Probiotics and vitamin D, they work hand to hand, and increased serum concentration of vitamin D as well as increase the lactic acid production. Now, probiotics secreting lactic acid will reduce intestinal pH, and which will help to increase the vitamin D absorption. Selected probiotics increases the VDR expression and its transcriptional activity, and the expression of catalysin, which is an antimicrobial peptide, and increases the pannate cells and the expression of differensins, which work synergistically in boosting the immune competence. Here, you have a number of antioxidants, what we discussed: vitamin E, vitamin C, carotenoids, then minerals, zinc, manganese, copper, and selenium. But phenolic acids, oligomeric proanthocyanidin, stilbenes. The best example is resveratrol and lignans. What it does, that oxidative stress profile ROS production goes up. So this can take care, and it can boost the antioxidant status, platelet activation and leukocyte activation, then nitric oxide, then the inflammation. It can reduce this, and that can alter the coagulopathies, which is very important in this pathology of coronavirus resistance. Next, we will talk about a number of products, what we use in India on a daily basis, but Americans, they put them in a nice, they did the research and they put the capsules in the bottle. Cinnamon, and we do not use cinnamon in India. We use it, we cook it very well during cooking. So all the properties are gone. Take raw cinnamon. Then ginger is another good one, ginger root. Ginger root, take the ginger root itself, good. Then haldi, we call it the solid Indian gold, and the black pepper, golmorich. So here we have the combination, turmeric and curcumin, turmeric as well as black pepper combination. It is wonderful. It is one of the highest selling nutraceuticals in USA, and it gives protection against different type of pathogen or different type of health problem. It is very helpful. Then the other is pine cone. We worked on a product known as Proligna, that we will come later. Then aloe vera is another nutraceutical which is very helpful. Then the quercetin, as you know, it is a flavonoid, and bromelain. Where from you get bromelain? Pineapple stem. And it has severe antiviral activity. And L-lysine. L-lysine has been shown several protection. Oh, I forgot to tell about one thing. Our collaborators from Australia, they have shown cinnamon prevent the viral entry. Dr. Dilip Ghosh, another Australian scientist from Calcutta, he showed it and published it. You will get the PubMed, you can get him. Then vitamin C, and you will see a lot of publication on vitamin C. Then brain health. What are the brain health nutraceuticals? What even we forgot? Well, that is Jyotish Moti. You know, it is an Ayurvedic herb. It was discovered 5,000 years ago, but Indians, we forgot. I hope there are no Americans. And then, you know the Aparajita full, which is known as Shankopushpi. It is also a very good neuroprotectant. And Bacopa, you know, the Bacopa and its beneficial effects, Brahmi, that it protects your brain. So for protecting your brain, take these nutraceuticals. We did a nutraceutical combination using Jyotishmati, Shankopushpi, and Bacopa buniari. Jyotishmati is Celestus paniculatus, and Shankopushpi is Convolvulus pluricus. Then rosemary leaves. Then ursolic acid, where from it comes, a triterpenoid comes from rosemary. And ursolic acid is another nutraceutical. This triterpenoid gives significant protection. In Chandigarh, we are doing a research on palmostrong. It is a combination of quercetin, which developed from Saphura japonica, ursolic acid from rosemary, and vitamin C. This combination worked against the volunteers. Kindly PGI Chandigarh, we are doing a clinical study, and you will see our results very soon. We got significant effect. This research was done by Chemical Resources in Panchkula near Chandigarh. Now, zinc supplement. Zinc was considered as a poison initially, but zinc in the right amount, it has several beneficial effects. It is an immune booster, boost antioxidant and immune competence, membrane stabilizer, protects against viral infection, activity of a host of zinc metalloenzymes, skin and connective tissue metabolism and repair, wound repair, prostate health, ocular health, and synthesis of DNA, RNA, collagen, antioxidant enzymes, you name it, SOD, catalase, glutathione peroxidase, and many more, proteins and replication of cells and gene expression. The sense of taste, what we lose in coronavirus infection, night vision, health, and healthy epithelial tissue. We published a bunch of papers in 1996 onwards, several papers, and we have shown significant benefits against the infections. Now, we developed a novel supplement. It is a protophyte. It is a vitamin B supplement. It is 100% vegetarian. It is a multivitamin, mineral, phytonutrient complex, which is fortified with proligna and aloe. And there are several other nutraceutical. You can look at this one at your convenience. Now, here, this is our legendary invention, and I am just putting the link. Let us see if I can share with you. No, I think it will not work. Okay. Oh.
Good day. If you're like I was, you think of that weird interval
Yeah, we can hear the sound, but not the video.
This exclusive technology, which creates a complex, typically so a rapidly and dramatically enhanced, which significantly improves and effective methods. And it's backed by published
Dr. Bagchi,
yeah.
Yeah, the video is not shared.
Oh, okay. No, looks like it is not working.
Yes, yes. But we can hear the background sound of the
It
video.
is just 15 seconds. So what's so great that we developed this proteasome technology, which boosts the bioavailability. We published this paper. Oh, sorry. Oh. Dr. Maji, how can I stop it?
Yeah, you can put the escape.
Oh, escape.
Yeah, you minimize this PowerPoint presentation, and the YouTube you just mute it.
Okay.
Or you can
Minimize it. Okay.
You minimize
Okay.
Yeah, you minimize it, and
I see.
we can see your screen.
Okay, minimize it.
Yeah, it's in mobile now. So open the YouTube and stop that.
Okay. Oh. Let me get in again quickly.
Yes, sure.
Let me go out and come back.
No, that is not required. You can stop sharing and you can share it again. It will be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You have started sharing. You stop sharing. Now you close all your apps and everything, and you start again sharing.
Sure. Yeah. Oh.
No, it's fine. Now you can share.
Yeah. Now I am coming back. Sorry. Sorry for the disruption. Can you see?
You haven't shared
Am
the
I
screen.
Oh, share the screen. Okay. Share the screen. Okay. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah, please carry on.
Yeah, sure. I'm coming to that in just a minute. So what's so great about this protophyte? In our system, we develop a proteasome technology. And proteasome technology that was developed to enhance the bioavailability, so that when you take a supplement, you make sure that it is bioavailable and it is functional, so that your body can take it and it can prevent lot of viral attack and infection. And what we showed, this paper in functional food and functions, we showed that this novel supplement, it is an iron-free supplement, but what it is doing, aerobic homeostasis, so that blood oxygenation to the requisite amount, and it can even it prevent anemia. So that's what we showed, and this is what I am showing. Some of the pictures which we did the live blood cell imaging while consuming water, and this is what the same picture after 5 minutes of consuming water. And when VMP35 supplement was taken, the protophyte, then you can see blood cells, it becomes improve the hematological characteristics of the blood in that subject, which exhibit the strategic intervention in the restoration of hemoglobin in the red blood cells previously considered as iron deficiency anemia, and reverse the progression of anemic pathologies considered iron deficiency anemia. So we had a hard time in the publication, but later on we convinced the reviewer, and our paper got published in 2020, early 2020. Overall, you know, an array of nutraceutical and functional foods, they can boost immune competence, they boost the anti-inflammatory potential and enhance antioxidant efficacy, and prevent significant immunity against viral, bacterial, and parasitic infections. Now, regularly supplementation of functional foods, nutraceutical formulation to maintain healthy intestinal flora and proper delivery system. Take lots of raw ginger, raw haldi, black pepper, it will help you. And also black or green tea in conjunction with healthy food habits that will boost your immune health and overall human health. And here I published 3 books on chronic inflammation, one on chronic inflammation with Dr. Roy from Ohio State University and Dr. A. Chaudhary. I did it with Wolfgang from Germany and with Shampa Chatterjee from UPenn School of Medicine. And I am putting here my address and phone number, email address. In case you have any questions, I am always open to you. And now enjoy the nice picture of Nemo. I thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful presentation. Lot of things. I'm sure that a lot of the participants are having so many questions. So before anybody asks, I have 1-2 questions for you, if you can clarify
Sure.
my doubts. Yeah,
Sure.
sir. Yes,
Sure.
sir. In your presentation, you were saying that in case of innate immunity, AMP, antimicrobial peptides are very much important. That actually helps the body to stop growing the microorganisms in our body, and that also may help in the preventive approach in case of COVID infection, which we are going through at this moment. So, so the supplementation you were talking about, so that will only help to increase the AMP levels in our body, or that can be done or in other ways?
AMP level, you know, to build the AMP level, you also need to do exercise, not only supplementation. It has been shown that a good supplements that can help you boost your immunity, but it needs physical exercise. Physical exercise and your exposure to the open air. When you expose yourself to the polluted environment for a long time, that causes a destruction of the peptides. So you need fresh air. At the same time, you need good food and exercise. Then that will boost your AMP level significantly. And even you can try it in your lab. You know, you can measure those peptides level and you try it 1 week with the supplements and 1 week expose yourself in a good environment and you do your exercise. You will see how different it is, how it is going up. You will get at least with the, if you have a level of 10, with the supplements, you will be arriving around 35. With the exercise, it will further boost the AMP level. If you expose yourself in an open environment, in a good air, it is very difficult in Calcutta. But if you expose yourself, that will boost your AMP significantly.
Right, sir. Sir, another question is there from my end that in case of this COVID pandemic, we were talking about, people are talking about, scientists were talking about the herd immunity. Now, let's say, sir, if a person has been infected by the COVID virus, SARS-CoV-2, let's say there are a couple of strains for one strain. So the antibodies which will be developing in the that patient, that will be against that particular strain. So, but right now the third wave, second wave, fourth wave, which is upcoming right now, so that is a different strain. So, is that actually possible that those antibodies which have been grown against the first strain in a patient's body, that will protect that patient from the third or fourth or fifth type of strain? So, like, is actually herd immunity will work because the strains are continuously changing? And the antibodies are against those strains particularly.
Yes, very interesting question and very timely question. You know what is happening here? Coronavirus is getting mutated. Double mutation, triple mutation, quadruple mutation. Now, during that time, it has been shown that those problems that is causing some protection. Now, a lot of people, they are saying, well, you take Pfizer, it will not happen. It is not true. There are a lot of people in America, they took the Pfizer vaccine or Moderna vaccine. But during this third wave is going on in many states. Those who didn't take vaccine, as well as some people, those who took vaccine. Luckily, California, it is not happening, but there we have seen that even the people, those who take vaccine, those who got coronavirus infection before, they are also getting, not all of them, but some of them are getting infected.
Right, sir. Hello?
Yes, I am hearing.
Yeah, so
did I answer your question?
Yes, sir, absolutely, absolutely. And there is another question from the chat. I would like to ask you that Dr. Oshim Haldar, one faculty from our department, has asked that what are the food supplements that will help to boost the gut flora, which we should follow?
Food supplement. You know, the best food supplement I can say is if you can put yogurt, and if you do it, culture it at home, that yogurt is the best source which will give your probiotic level significantly. Here in USA, we get probiotic supplement, but India, the best way is the sour yogurt, the tog doi. So if you do that, it will have significant amount of probiotic. There was a study done in Punjab, and they showed that those who are doing those cultured yogurt, they are having a significant amount of probiotics. So they said 4 serving of those probiotic enriched yogurt, they can help you in boosting your immunity also.
Right, sir.
But you
Sir,
know, in Bengal, we have a problem. We take sweet yogurt. Sweet yogurt is obviously, you know, honestly, I love it, but it is harmful.
Right. Right, sir. Sir, another question I have from my end, that I was seeing some paper. There was a study, if I'm not being wrong, has been done by ICMR, maybe in recent couple of months, that as the Delta virus, the Delta strain is coming right now, has already reached in India. So
Right.
they have made a study with 4 groups where they have, you know, the groups were divided in such a way that in 2 groups, the people were involved who have already COVID infection, and 1 group with COVID recovered patient with, you know, 1 vaccine. The second group is COVID infected and recovered with the double dose of vaccine, and the rest of the 2 groups have only taken the vaccine. So it has been seen that, it has been seen that the people who have recovered from COVID and have taken 1 or 2 doses of vaccine, they are more protected. They were saying, they're hypothesizing that they're more protected from the Delta strain or Delta plus strain. So is it like, what is your point of view, like in this case? What do you want to say?
You know, it is partially true, but what we are seeing here, especially in certain states, especially in Florida, a lot of people, they didn't take the vaccine, and they got infected one time. Some of them, they are also a little bit careless. They are not wearing masks, and not also they are only taking unhealthy food. But not also that, those who took even very careful, not exposing them too much, but they are also getting affected with coronavirus. Even they got coronavirus before they took vaccine twice. Some of them also, at least I should say, maybe it is too early to predict, at least 10 to 15% got infected with the new strain.
Right,
but,
sir.
you know, one thing we have seen, propensity is less. Propensity is much less, but they got infected.
Right, sir. Sir, another question is there that one of our students from BPharm 4th year, Bonishika Maiti, she is asking that nowadays in the treatment of COVID-19, physicians are prescribing steroids when the inflammation is very high. And
Yes.
But as a long-term use of that, it may decrease the immunity. So actually, it is aggravating our disease, aggravating the chance of having the disease again, as it is decreasing the immunity. So there can be any kind of alternative, like
Actually, it is very difficult because the black fungus, you know, a black fungus is causing problem. Black fungus, what we have seen, mucormycosis, that because your immune system is getting, you are getting so protected that you are those who take the immunosuppressant drug, and those who are exposing them to too much steroid, they are getting this black fungus infection. Now, are there ways that we can get rid of black fungus? There is one supplement has been shown, oregano oil. Oregano oil has been shown some promise. although it is not published yet. Oregano oil has been shown by Dr. Harry Bruce that it can prevent the coronavirus induced the black fungus.
Right, sir. So there is another question that why from our departmental faculty, Dr. Oshim Haldar, that why food product is not regulated by the US FDA as it alters effect of many drugs. Why it is not been approved by?
Actually, you know, now it is becoming very easy. Actually, if you go 25 years back, these food supplements were never approved by US FDA, never. But over the years, what we are seeing now, that if you get the GRAS status, generally recognized as safe, GRAS status, and how you do that, you have to do a battery of toxicology study, acute oral, acute dermal irritation, eye irritation, mouse lymphoma, mouse micronucleus, then EMS test, then 90-day toxicology study, 2-generation toxicology study, then you get a GRAS approval, generally recognized as safe, endorsed by 3 toxicologists. And then you submit to FDA, then you get that no objection GRAS certification. Then those products you can make. And then if you do clinical studies, at least in a decent number of subjects, placebo-controlled, randomized, double-blind study, then you can claim, make a soft claim that you can do. So those are things that are coming up. And maybe there are at least 18 products have been shown that where the soft claims have been made, soft claims. But you cannot make hard claim that it prevents the disease. That's why I showed the statement that, so you have seen it. So, but those days are coming. Maybe someday later, they will accept that, yes, nutraceutical, those who are potent nutraceutical, well-researched, well-demonstrated, there you can make certain claims.
Right, sir. Sir, one more question left, that is from our another faculty, Shubham Paul, that he's asking that how long it is safe to take vitamin D supplements, because when the COVID has come, a lot of people are taking some multivitamins or vitamin D3 supplements. So is there a chance of having the hypervitaminosis or like that, like harmfulness for hypervitaminosis D as we are taking?
Yeah, actually vitamin D, you know, I was taking vitamin D 5,000 dosage and 5,000 IU. But what happened when this coronavirus started, then some of our collaborators from Georgetown, from University of Connecticut School of Medicine, they suggested that increase it to 10,000 IU. But what then lot of people, they have used different type of doses. It has been shown very interestingly, some of the doctors, they are also in USA, they are prescribing vitamin D3. They are requesting the subjects, hey, take vitamin D3, which you will not see in India. But vitamin D3, they are saying that take vitamin D3 at least 5,000 IU per day. And they are saying that you can take at a span for 6 to 7 months, then give a gap of 2 months, then again start taking it, vitamin D3.
Right. So is it required to, before taking the vitamin D3 5,000 IU, before taking that, should we go for vitamin D3 level check, blood test, or anybody can take? What do you
Yeah,
suggest?
of course, you can check. You can check
Right.
your level of vitamin D3.
Right.
Generally, let me tell you another thing. We are not white. We are dark skin mostly. So dark skin people, they have the lesser ability to absorb vitamin D3. Our vitamin D3 is generally low. If you do it in the pharmacy school, you can check and you can see vitamin D3 level is low. And we do not expose ourselves to the sunlight. So it is always good to take some vitamin D3 level, but do some measurement before that. It is always a good idea.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So these are those questions that we all wanted to ask, and this was seriously, sir, a very interactive session, a session with lot of information on COVID-19, because we have been going through it. We have a lot of questions regarding it. So thank you so very much, sir, for sharing all this information. We are really, it feels a pleasure for us to have you. And with the permission of our HOD, Dr. Majhi, I would like to just share a small token of appreciation for you, which we have from our department.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
sir,
you.
please.
Thank you so very much. Yeah, Calcutta is my city. So my heart is in Calcutta, although I am here in California. I am always there. So I look forward eagerly meeting you, Dr. Majhi, maybe in near future, and all of you.
Sir, this one is for you from our department.
Oh, thank
So we
you.
will
Thank
send
you
it.
so very much. Yeah.
We will
Thank you
share
so
it
very
with you
much.
over email, sir.
Hey, I do not have H. Debassis.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay, sir. I'll correct it, and then I'll correct it when I'll
Okay,
send it.
please send it. Thank you.
Sure,
Thank you so very much, Dr. Majhi, and everybody.
Yeah, it is indeed our opportunity to have you on virtual platform at JIS University. You know, Debasish, I was going through your CV. You have graduated from Jadavpur University long before I was born. and in today's time, when it is our lifetime opportunity that a person who is having more than 400 publications with 20 patents and 40 books,
390.
our opportunity. And as I have interacted with you,
my great pleasure.
we are working with persons throughout the world as a great opportunity for us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
ভালো থাকবেন, খুব ভালো থাকবেন।
হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা, আপনারাও ভালো থাকবেন। All the best.
Thank you. খুব ভালো থাকবেন।
Dr. Majhi. Dr. Majhi.
Preeti ma'am, you are here.
Good morning. Yeah, I just love to enjoy all the sessions and everything. I'll request on behalf of, with coordination with you, to Dr. Debasish, he should also take some session on our college faculty also and the students.
Yes, Dr. Preeti Dongre, she was our colleague in a UKRE program. We were having training sessions for 1 long year. It was being conducted by UK and India Leadership Training Program, and since then we are associated. So, Preeti ma'am, will you please come up and share your views?
Yeah, just to give it 2 minutes, okay?
Yes, sure, ma'am. Sure. Please open up your video so that we can see you. Now, at your local time, it's 9 p.m.
No, 10:51. It is means I work till 11:30, 12 midnight. Don't you worry. It is 10:21 at your location. We are 10:51.
Dr. Majhi.
Yeah, ma'am, sure.
Yeah, good to see you.
That's Preeti Dongre, ma'am.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, it was basically from the design field, architecture and interior. But whenever all the concerned faculty, they are so generous and though they are so kind. Whoever organized the session, they drop the message, and I always grab the opportunity to attend it, and it was very informative. And I'll request Dr. Debasish to accept the invitation to attend, to host the organize and take the session for our faculty member also and the students.
Sure. Anytime. Anytime.
Yeah, I will.
You are in where?
I mean,
where are you located in Calcutta?
No, Delhi. I'm in Delhi.
Oh, Delhi. Okay. Sure. I did a session in BHU in the recent past.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And also one of my book is coming out on digestion, where Dr. Maji also contributed a chapter there. Now we are doing a jumbo book on infection, about a 1100 pages book. So that is going on with about 75 chapters. So
when it is releasing, Dr. Maji is a very learned man. I know that.
Yeah, it will be around March, April, it will come out.
Okay.
But before that, I have my book on digestion. You know, more I am learning that how important is digestion. And when I was student, I didn't pay that much attention. That there are more neurotransmitters in your stomach, in your GI tract, than in your brain. So, and how it performs its function. So that's why we need so good dahi is very important. Keeping the probiotics.
Okay, then thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. See you soon in Calcutta, and Dr. Maji.
Absolutely, sir. I would love to meet you, sir, and interact with you.
Sure. Thank you.
So we are concluding the session officially.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.